When Peter came home from his job as a veterinarian, he saw his dog Max and his cat Sam lying in very strange positions. He believed it was a joke at first, but after he saw Max avoid releasing the cat's grip, he got pale. He'd soon find out why when he phoned the vet. The small cat was in imminent danger of passing away, so the veterinarian strongly urged him that he take immediate action in order to save the animal's life. Peter is escorted to his seat by a veterinarian assistant as soon as he and Sam enter the animal hospital. She assured him that the vet would arrive as quickly as possible. However, this had already been going on for nearly an hour, even though they had called. He storms into the office of the doctor and imposes that he come observe Sam as soon as possible. However, the veterinarian did not have it, as the doctor was dealing with a dog. But when the dog's owner saw the helpless expression on Peter's face, she made a selfless choice. The woman came to the conclusion that Sam required assistance more direly at the moment than the dog did. Peter was relieved that his pet was at last examined, and as a result, he was able to settle down after this point. He was highly interested in learning what was truly happening. Shortly as the veterinarian started looking at Sam, he started to turn a pale color. The vet began by asking some standard questions. He wondered why the vet was interested in these details, as he should be looking over the cat's body. When the veterinarian did finally get his answer, he was taken aback by it. The veterinarian bolted from his desk and made a dash for his associate, who was waiting outside to assist him. He did not waste any time and began the medical examinations right away. In order to confirm his doubts as soon as possible, he required the test results. It was not even easy for the vet to take Sam in, but he did. Sam's agitation grew to the point where he became belligerent at times. When it came time to put the cat to bed, the assistant was required to assist. But this was not the most challenging part. The veterinarian quickly discovered a significant protrusion on Sam's abdominal area. The doctor was well aware that this was not a good sign. Peter also witnessed the fact that the veterinarian was perplexed by something. Immediately, he curiously questioned him on it, as it was very important to him to learn about the situation. The doctor's tone shifted abruptly. This appeared to be of the utmost importance. After he had a brief conversation with my assistant, she exited the operating room as soon as he had finished. Peter, however, was curious as to what is really going on. Then the veterinarian surprised him by informing him of something unexpected. It was necessary for them to sedate Sam. Furthermore, to some other tests he decided to run, he required to get an ultrasound performed. But Sam needed to be sedated because it could be a little painful if he was awake during the procedure. Peter had a good grasp of the situation. Peter was aware that Sam needed to be sedated in order for the veterinarian to perform a thorough examination on him, so he granted the vet permission to administer a more potent medication. Sam was not only agitated, but he also appeared to be distressed. His cat had to be sedated eventually for her own good, but sooner was preferable. He started getting ready for the upcoming ultrasound, after waiting several minutes for her to go to sleep before continuing with his preparations. The veterinarian's demeanor shifted as he operated the ultrasound machine. Over the course of time, the optimistic view gradually morphed into a pessimistic one. When the ultrasound was finished, the veterinarian told Peter that he needed to make an urgent phone call. However, Peter was not familiar with the veterinarian's intended contact. Peter is joined by additional assistants as he ponders what is taking place. Peter felt the beginnings of panic rising within him. He is completely in the dark about what is taking place with Sam. Peter was unable to hold out any longer. He was curious about what's been going on and wanted to know more. However, the vet was not going to reveal that information to him. It was explained to Peter that Sam required surgery. Due to the severity of the injury, the investigation into what had happened required a number of hours. But he soon became aware that there was something else going on. The police also arrived, and now the vet's co-workers are on their way to assist him. Peter had the mistaken impression that he has nothing to with the police, although the cops went right up to him, and they weren't playing around. They were serious about conducting an investigation right away. Peter addressed all of the inquiries directed toward him and his cat. It started out as a fairly routine question, but very quickly, they went into greater detail. Why do they have such a strong desire to learn all of this information? The question took an even more peculiar turn after that. They questioned him about the owner through whom he acquired the cat and inquired about whether or not he had performed a history check on the animal before adopting it. In an effort to be as thorough as possible with his response, Peter chose to demonstrate everything to the authorities. Peter pulled out his phone and presented the police with the source he had in relationship with adopting Sam. After viewing those sources, the law enforcement officers exchanged glances and nodded in agreement. They went to their bags, then returned with enormous papers in hand. Peter was taken aback by what happened after that. Peter was asked by the officers if he recognized the individual in the photograph that they were displaying to him. Peter reportedly assisted the authorities, but he could not recognize anyone until he saw a photo of the suspects. He was able to recall exactly where he had seen one of the individuals before. Peter made it clear that he was familiar with the individual. On the other hand, he was significantly more concerned about Sam. This is the gentleman from whom he purchased the cat. However, what exactly does this imply? What kind of an outcome did Peter and Sam find themselves in it? Seems like Peter purchased Sam from a convicted felon. These were groups that turned this activity into a profitable business. However, it was not clear to him how they got to him or why his pet was in danger. However, the veterinarian happened to come out and elaborated on what had happened. It would appear that the veterinarian performed an ultrasound, and the results were both doubtful and improbable. As a consequence of this, and based on the fact that he was aware that this was the job of some felons, he phoned the cops. On the other hand, Peter should take heart from this development. Sam was on the verge of giving birth to newborn kittens. It would appear that the criminal was responsible for her pregnancy shortly before Peter purchased her. They have developed a very astute approach to business up to this point. The authorities were attempting to apprehend them with Peter's assistance. Peter was asked by the police to announce on his social media accounts that his cat had just delivered a kitten. This will entice those who commit crimes. Peter felt both excitement and worry about the situation. What will happen if the police are unable to arrive tonight? What if they were aware of what Peter was trying to accomplish? However, shortly after he supposedly left his place, the perpetrators of the crime managed to arrive at the location. The moment the criminals entered his home, the police immediately placed them under arrest and had the situation under control. Everything worked out perfectly, and the authorities were very appreciative to Peter for his assistance. Peter, on the other hand, was aware of the person who ought to be thanked for this. It was necessary to express gratitude to Max, his dog. It was because to him that Sam's pregnancy with kittens was uncovered. Peter would have overlooked it until it was too late to do anything about it. He presented Max with mouth-watering treats. In addition, they were thrilled to announce the arrival of a new cat into their home.